Welcome to Hollywood Happenings, and we are so excited because Dolphin Tale 2 is finally out in theaters.
Jim Ferguson sat down with almost all the stars of this movie and has saved the best for last. Here's Jim with Connick Jr.
Our Hollywood Happening today revisits Winter, the dolphin with the prosthetic tail. In Dolphin Tale 2, Winter has some major problems like surviving. Hopefully, Dr. Clay Haskett, played by Connick Jr., will not let that happen. Harry, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You know, I was here for the first one, and a lot of the cast members and crew and Clearwater, I feel like this is for Dolphin Tale 2, like a family reunion. Would you agree?
Very much so. I mean, we established great connections during the first one. Some of the guys in the cast I became really close to, like Nathan and Cozy, especially. But many of the other actors too, and it's just something that you don't see every day in filmmaking, you know, where you really develop some solid friendships that go far beyond the set. So it's a nice thing.
It really is, really. Your character, Dr. Clay Haskett, is that right?
Haskett.
Haskett,
Yeah.
okay. He truly believes in the 3 R's.
He does.
That's rescue, rehab, and release. That comes across with your character and the way you portray him, that he has principles and he's going to stay by them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great lesson, sort of, for me, sort of a great reminder that very, very basic principles, and don't waver from them, and you'll pretty much stay out of trouble if you do. And that's the whole mantra behind Clearwater Marine Aquarium, is that it's about rescue, rehab, and release. And when they get these animals in, they really only want to get them to a point where they can re-release them or release them into the wild. And in Winter's case, it was unfortunate. I don't think a lot of people understand what the Clearwater Marine Aquarium does. If they could have no animals in there, that's what they would want. They'd want to get them all back out there, but sometimes, you know, they lose the skills they need to survive in the wild, and that's where this great facility comes in.
In fact, there's a great scene between Ashley and Cozy where she explains, she's a nurse in a hospital, how they'd like to have an empty hospital.
That's right.
Almost the same idea.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, nobody wants to have to see these animals, you know, that have suffered, you know, not be able to be returned to the wild. But the quality of life there is so extraordinary, and Winter has had an opportunity to not only to live a full life, but to give huge amounts of inspiration.
Well, Dolphin Tale 2 reunites the entire cast from the original film. Several years have passed since Dr. Haskett rescued Winter, and the sequel continues the story with even more action. I felt like jumping into the tank and swimming with the dolphins. It's rated PG and perfect for the entire family. My grade, a solid B.
In Brooklyn, money changes hands all night long. And it's not the kind of money that you can deposit in a bank.
You handle the drop.
But all that money needs to end up somewhere. They call it a drop bar. You just hide the entire city's dirty money right in plain sight.
Well, a lonely Brooklyn bartender, Bob, played by Tom Hardy, discovers an abandoned and abused puppy that helps him out of his constricted world in The Drop. What is a drop bar, Tom?
A gang or an organization will have a number of rackets going on in various bars throughout that neighborhood or aligning neighborhoods, and we'll take money from each one per week, and we'll then we'll drop all of that money, have it delivered to one particular bar, and that's where they'll make the pickup for the money from all of the different bars that they have protection money coming from.
And you're the bartender there.
Of one of these bars.
Of one of these bars.
Each month a bar is chosen to be the collection point.
Now he discovers, Numi, a puppy, a pit bull puppy in your garbage can, in where you're living. Would you agree with me that that little puppy, Rocco, is their salvation for both of them?
Yeah. Mikael Roskam said at one point that the dog is a saint. He's like a symbol, and he's put there to he's sort of like a bridge between us, and he will help us cure and heal and, you know, mend, you know, because Nadia has a broken heart from She comes from a quite troubled past, and she's been living different destructive things. And this dog, the reason, like, you know, my ex-boyfriend puts the dog there, and this dog becomes like a catalysator for us.
Well, unfortunately, I was out of time in my interview with Tom and Numi to mention James Gandolfini, who in his last film was just outstanding as Bob's cousin Marv. Well, The Drop is a crime drama from director Michael Roskin, screenplay by Dennis Lehane, and like most of his screenplays that include Gone Baby Gone and Mystic River, his stories are tense. Well, the cast of Tom Hardy, Noomi Rapace, and the late James Gandolfini do a great job with their characters. But the film is slow-moving and it's very predictable. It's rated R, my grade a C. Well, also opening today, the thriller No Good Deed and the drama The Skeleton Twins, starring Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader. I'll see you right here next Tuesday on The Morning Blend.